When a magician reaches out to an old leather book, covered in the dust of centuries, he rarely realizes that its pages are not just text. They are an entrance. They are a portal. They are a gate. And the first to guard this passage into the abyss are the ancient spirits, the powerful spirits whose names are written in the Ars Goetia. This chapter is dedicated to the first of them, the 5 demons who stand at the threshold of knowledge. Bael is a name that trembles on the lips of any adept who decides to pronounce it for the first time in the circle of summoning. Bael is the first of the 72. His image is frightening. A man with the head of a cat, a toad, and a man at the same time. He rules over legions, 66 squads of shadow under his command. Bael is not just a demon, he is a king. But his essence is not in power, but in invisibility. He can hide the summoner, make him invisible to the world and his enemies. Those who ask Bael to disappear are said to crave silence. He hides not only bodies, but intentions, thoughts, memories. His power is useful not only for escape, but also for observation. He teaches how to be a shadow. Those who call upon him often lose the line between mask and face. Bael takes away more than just appearances. Marbas appears next. In the form of a mighty lion, he strides through space, breathing in and out diseases. But unlike the destroyers, Marbas heals. He is the keeper of medical secrets and a demonic engineer. He is believed to be able to cure any disease, especially those of an occult nature. Marbas reveals the nature of ailments, the cause of suffering, and the path to recovery. But knowledge comes at a price. Sometimes he gives a cure, and sometimes he leaves only knowledge of the diagnosis. And this knowledge is a death sentence. In the laboratories of the 19th century, his name was often written in journals, hidden under Latin formulations. He inspired more than one physician to create theories that were ahead of their time. But no one mentions the price that was paid. Buer is the next in line. A spinning wheel with 5 hooves for limbs, a semblance of a creature that does not belong to any known form. Buer does not destroy or hide. He teaches. His domain is philosophy, logic, the properties of herbs and medicine. Of all the spirits, he is the most eager to impart knowledge. He was often called upon by alchemists, herbalists, even priests in secret. Buer was a symbol of a reasonable demon. He does not force deals, but he does not spare the ignorant. Those who are not ready will receive nothing, but those who are open will receive the key to understanding the nature of things. Buer teaches integrity, both in the body and in the mind. His rotating body is a symbol of balance and the movement of knowledge in the world. Morax is a demon whose appearance resembles a bull with a human face. He is majestic and unwavering. His knowledge concerns the stars, astronomy, alchemy, and the properties of stones. He controls not only knowledge, but also 26 legions of underground scholars, spirits that carry secret knowledge. His name is associated with temples where astronomical tables and celestial maps were kept. Morax does not reveal secrets easily. He must be begged, persuaded, and shown to seek the truth. He is connected to matter and ether. He is the embodiment of structure and order. All who work with matter call upon him. His seal can even be found on some ancient European observatories, disguised as geometric patterns. The last one in this chapter is Glacia Labolas. His wings are like an eagle's, and his voice echoes with blood. This demon is the lord of violence and the philosopher of destruction. But he is not just a killer. He teaches us to understand the cause and effect of violence. He gives knowledge of death, of victims, and the consequences of war. His legions are not soldiers, but witnesses. They do not fight. They observe and record. Glacialabolus can predict death. He shows how one action leads to death, how one word to a catastrophe. His image often came to generals and executioners, to judges and murderers. They did not seek mercy from him. They asked for understanding. But the understanding he gives destroys the soul. This knowledge is impossible to forget. These are the first five: Bael, who hides in darkness; Marbas, who reads flesh; Buer, who spins thought; Morax, who contemplates the stars; Glacialabolus, who divines blood. Each of them is more than just a demon. Each is an idea, a principle, a mirror of human darkness. And each guards the threshold through which only he who is ready to bear knowledge as a burden will enter. There is an opinion among the researchers of Ars Goetia. The first demons are the most ancient. Their essence is not in destruction, but in initiation. They give keys. But behind each key is a door. Behind the door is a new abyss. To open them means to renounce ignorance. And this, as is known, is more terrible than hell itself. In the darkness of an unlit library, where the pages of books smell of sulfur and ash, symbols beyond the modern human mind are revealed. There is no light here. There are formulas that defy the laws of physics, and blueprints that contain the whispers of demons. The second step of the path along the Ars Goetia belongs to those who possess the secrets of metamorphosis, transformation, and betrayal. Foras is the first of the five. His image is of an elderly balding scholar in a long robe, with eyes in which the dawn of the world sparkles. He reveals the secrets of the continuation of life, not immortality. No, he reveals ways to expand the time contour of existence. In his power is the knowledge of how to strengthen the body, restore what is lost, reverse aging. But only to those who dare to look into the mirror of their own flesh. In the laboratories of medieval Europe, the mention of Foras was hidden under the name of the holy apothecary. In fact, he appeared to alchemists in dreams, indicating formulas, recipes, sequences. He is not interested in the soul. He is interested in the union of matter and spirit in a vessel that we call the body. He was the first to hint to people that death is not the limit, but a transformation. Next up is Malphus. Unlike the majestic Foras, this demon takes the form of a raven, building a nest in the darkness. He is not an architect of bodies, but of fortresses. His whole purpose is to build structures, be they stone walls or hierarchies of power. Malphus teaches destruction through creation. He can build a city that will destroy civilization. His fortresses are symbols of power, control, fear. He grants power over his subjects, but in exchange, he demands their trust, and then he destroys it. Malphus symbolizes betrayal as a form of power. Those who build their structure with his help inevitably find a weak link in it. He loves to see how what took centuries to build collapses in one evening. He was called upon by rulers and revolutionaries, those who sought power not for the sake of the people, but for the sake of an eternal game. Next comes Hagenti, a demon whose essence is alchemy. He is often depicted as a mighty man with the head of a bull, holding vessels of fiery liquid. He can turn any metal into gold, but even more frighteningly, he can turn any thought into doctrine, any symbol into reality. He not only transforms matter, but ideas. He is the god of alchemy in its most abstract sense. Hagenti inspired secret societies and orders, not only for gold, but for the transformation of the lower into the higher. He was the patron of those who believed that the philosopher's stone is not an object, but a state of mind. His name is hidden in alchemical treatises under codes, and his formulas still cannot be fully deciphered. He can turn water into wine, but not for the sake of celebration, but for the sake of proof. Everything is subject to change. He is followed by Caim, one of the most mysterious demons of all Goetia. His first appearance is a goose, and with prolonged contact he takes on a human form, but with a sword and a fiery gaze. Caim has mastered the voice. He teaches to understand the languages of animals, birds, the whispers of the dead, and the cracking of bones. But his main weapon is eloquence. He is able to convince even an angel to turn away from the path. Caim is known for teaching dialogue, not reconciliation, but manipulation. His rhetoric is not the art of expression, but the art of implantation. He is able to plant an idea in the mind of the victim so that he will consider it his own. Politicians, orators, religious leaders of all times, they all touched his influence in one way or another. He leaves behind not blood, but fanatics. The fifth in this chain is Os, the deceiver, the illusionist. He comes as a man, but pretends to be a king, a deity, or even yourself. He can instill any lie in the summoner, transform him into any creature, in the eyes of others and in his own perception. He is the destroyer of identity. But his power is not in deception, but in the creation of an alternative reality. Os is dangerous because the line between truth and lies disappears in his presence. Some who called upon him lost their sense of reality forever. They believed they had become gods, angels, animals. They were carried away by madness. But those who endured could become anything. He teaches changeability, and he hates constancy. Stability is his enemy. These five, Phorus, Malphus, Hagenti, Caim, Os, are not so much destroyers as they are transformers. They change form, structure, perception, essence. They do not appeal to the darkness directly. Their weapons are knowledge, illusion, deception, structure, and transformation. But behind each of them, there is a threat. Too deep an understanding can result in the loss of oneself. Unlike the demons of the first chapter, who guard the threshold, these five invite you to cross it. Not just enter, but walk through the fire and emerge as a different person. These are not just spirits. They are tools. They are alchemical elements that transform the soul into substance, the mind into ritual, the body into a vessel. They cannot simply be studied. They must be merged with. But not everyone returns from this merger as a human being. Where reason trembles and logic breaks down, the spirits of the third circle of the Ars Goetia appear. They do not teach crafts or inspire construction. Their destiny is to blur the boundaries of consciousness, tempt with truth, awaken desires that man would prefer to forget. There are 5 of them, and each of them reflects the human mind in a mirror, covered with the frost of delusions. Amy arrives first. He is a knight in fiery armor, but his voice is like distant bells. Amy opens access to the secrets of the stars, the signs of the zodiac, prophecies related to astrology. He does not simply point to celestial bodies. He explains how they affect fate. He cannot be caught in a lie, but his truth is not what a person would like to hear. It gives power over time. Not literally, Amy gives the ability to understand rhythms, cycles, returns. Magicians who turned to it could predict not specific events, but patterns, repeating images by which history unfolds. But knowledge always came with a test, the ability to know and not interfere, to see the collapse and not save. Valak is the second to appear. His image evokes surprise and fear. A small boy with an angelic face riding a two-headed dragon, a contrast that destroys expectations. Valak seeks hidden things. He shows treasures buried under ancient trees or forgotten in catacombs. But most often he finds snakes, and the snakes he calls are not those that crawl on the ground. He reveals hidden fears. Snakes are symbols of suppressed desires, repressed instincts, hidden secrets of the family. Valak leads deep, shows where the poison lies, and gives the opportunity to take it in hand. But if a person is not ready, the snake bites into him. Valak wears a childish appearance not for the sake of deception. He is a symbol of the fact that fears always arise in childhood. And if you could not understand them then, they will devour you now. Forneos is next. His figure is a sea monster, like a shark and a squid, with eyes full of heavy water. He is the Lord of Glory. He can make the challenger respected, loved, almost adored. He gives the ability to speak, to persuade, to attract people. He makes you the center of any room. But his gifts are insidious. The glory he bestows is insincere. It flares up brightly, but burns out quickly. Those who have used his seal have often become famous, but lost themselves. He can put you on a pedestal, but never gives you the opportunity to step down. Forneos shows that the love of the crowd is an illusion. He makes you accept other people's views as your own. You become who they see you, not who you are. The fourth to appear is Aemon. His form is that of a man with a wolf's head, with a blazing gaze. Aemon is a peacemaker, but not in the sense we are accustomed to. He can reconcile enemies, restore a lost connection, recreate a broken relationship. However, to do this, he exposes the truth. All of it, without embellishment. He reveals motives, shows the hidden, destroys masks. And not everyone can withstand such a truth. Aemon is the demon of sincerity. But sincerity too harshly exposed is a wound. People who turned to him for reconciliation received not forgiveness, but confession. He could unite hearts, but often it required breaking them. His essence is knowledge that haunts. He does not impose peace. He offers it if you are willing to give up the lies that held the bond. The fifth and last in this circle is Andras, a demon with a human body, an owl's head, and black wings, armed with a huge sword. He is a destroyer of order. Where Andras appears, war begins. His main quality is the ability to sow discord between friends, to ignite conflict where there should be none. He does not kill himself. He sets people against each other. Andras does not act roughly. He instills doubt. He whispers that a friend has betrayed, that a lover has cheated, that a student is lying, and a person begins to believe. Under his influence, marriages, alliances, nations collapse. He is loved by revolutionaries and traitors, but he does not make the choice for you. He simply tips the scales. The rest is a matter of your will. All five, Amy, Valak, Forneos, Aemon, Andras, exist in the zone between reason and madness. They do not teach how to change the world. They offer to change perception. But the price is stability. It is inner peace. Their gifts are tempting because they give the power to influence feelings, destinies, and truths. But influence is always a temptation, and temptation leads to the loss of self. If the demons of the first chapter opened the gates, and the demons of the second transformed the form, then the demons of the third undermine the essence. They act from within, unnoticed. They speak with the voice of loved ones. They hide in silence. But one day you notice. You already think differently. You already feel differently. You can no longer go back. In the depths of the infernal vault, beyond reason and illusion, lies a dark battlefield. There are no voices here, only the rustle of armor, the tramp of invisible legions, and the groan of steel. This land is ruled by the demon warriors, those who do not rule or seduce, but fight. Their strength is discipline, their fate is blood. The 5 spirits of this circle promise no glory. They offer only survival. Marcosius is the first to emerge. Her form is terrifyingly majestic, a great wolf entwined with a snake, with the wings of a griffin and flames for eyes. She is one of the few who was a woman in life and still retains a trace of her former pride. Marcosius is a commander, a warlord, a generalissimo of the damned armies. She is called upon not for knowledge, but for protection. She brings with her the idea of honor, but this honor is charred and cracked. There is severity in her voice and heaviness in her presence. Marcosius teaches tactics, foresight in battle, the ability to see the enemy before he appears. She is not interested in morality, only results. Many witches and black knights of the Middle Ages made a pact with her, asking not for immortality, but fortitude. She grants determination, the kind that does not tremble before violence. But the same determination makes a person cold as metal. Behind her is Phoenix, a completely different kind of spirit. His body is a fiery bird with a human voice, singing music that does not exist in the world of the living. He does not fight with weapons, but his song is stronger than the sword. Phoenix awakens inspiration, gives courage in the face of death. He is the demon of the last chance, the melody that the soul hears before it disappears. Phoenix is not only a singer, but also a sage. He knows all sciences, speaks dead languages, and discovers new styles in art. His song can heal despair, but it can also plunge into madness. He is one of the few spirits who wish to return to heaven, and this makes him dangerous. His desire to rise up pushes others down. He inspires, but his inspiration often leads to the abyss. The third is Sabnok. He is unmistakable, a tall knight in black armor, with a lion's head and foul breath. He is a master of sieges and a creator of defensive structures. His job is to build fortresses, towers, bastions that resist time. But these are not just walls. Sabnok builds havens in the mind, citadels of fear, prisons in the mind. He fortifies not only the world of men, but also the soul of the summoner. Sabnok is the patron of strategists. He can infect his enemies with gangrene or paralyze them with fear, but his true weapon is isolation. He teaches how to survive alone and makes loneliness habitual. The one who summons him gradually distances himself from people, strengthening not only the castles, but also the walls around his heart. Next comes Andrialphus. His form is a hybrid of man and peacock, with feathers that shimmer with colors that don't exist in the spectrum. He teaches sciences, especially geometry and astronomy. But everything he teaches has military applications. Geometry becomes a map of the battlefield. Astronomy, an army's navigation tool. Andrialphus doesn't just teach, he reprograms thinking. Those who interacted with him began to perceive reality as a blueprint. Space was divided into angles and vectors. Time no longer existed. There was only a sequence of maneuvers. He can change the voice, distort speech, which is especially useful in intelligence and espionage. He turns a person into a decision machine. His knowledge is the removal of doubts. Ronov is the last in line, short, almost plain, with a staff and a sack of books. He does not look like a soldier, but his weapon is the word. He knows all human and demonic languages, teaches the art of persuasion, diplomacy, disguise. His legions are messengers, spies, negotiators. He can achieve victory without a single blow. Just a phrase inserted at the right moment. Ronov trains orators and traitors, politicians and traitors. His tongue is a scalpel. He can destroy a friendship with a hint, or save a nation with a word. But he bears no responsibility for the consequences. He passes on the tools. The magician decides how to use them. And this is what makes Ronov especially dangerous. He imposes nothing. Marcosius, Phanex, Sabnok, Andrealphus, Ronov, 5 who have passed through the flames of war and retained their will. They do not incline to evil. They teach action. Their path is not a choice between good and darkness, but a choice between action and inaction. They do not turn away from blood, but they do not revel in it. They show the price of victory and leave the decision to the one who called. This chapter is a step into the zone of cold reason and hot steel. Here, they no longer ask why you are moving forward. Here, they test whether you can withstand a blow. And if not, someone else will take your place. After all, the demons of war do not recognize weakness. They recognize only discipline, calculation, and silence. It is in silence that true strength is forged. Beyond the battlefield and the noise of steel dawns, another space begins. Silence. Not emptiness, but tense, heavy, like the air before a storm. No commands sound here. No blades flash. Spirits live here, whose words are thinner than the wind and deeper than eternity. They do not carry the force of a blow. They carry knowledge. Their speech is not a phrase, but the structure of the world. The 5 demons of this circle are not warriors or deceivers. They are prophets. Ores, also known as Flores, enters first. His form is that of a man with a lion's face and flaming eyes. Words that cannot be forgotten come from his mouth. He reveals what is hidden: crimes, the past, the roots of disasters, the essence of deeds. He can lift the curtain on the future, but he does so reluctantly. He does not like to be asked twice. His prophecies always require a sacrifice, not necessarily physical. Those who come into contact with Hores feel as if time has turned back. Memories are revived. The voices of the dead are heard anew. He makes visible what has already happened, but is hidden by lies or oblivion. He reveals not facts, but meaning. And if truth is ashes, he scatters them for you to breathe. He serves no will. He shows only what is ready to be seen. Next comes Gushan. His form is that of an old man with wings and closed eyes. He does not look, he knows. Unlike Hores, Gushan answers directly. His strength is in honesty. He does not distort or embellish. He tells it like it is, even when it hurts, especially then. He can reveal what is hidden, find what is lost, show the way through illusion. But there is a price. No more return to ignorance. Gushan serves those who truly seek. He does not help those who doubt or are interested out of idle curiosity. His voice sounds inside, like a revelation, like a break in a dream where you hear a name you have forgotten. He does not persuade. He reveals. And most often, not what you wanted to know, but what you have been running from all your life. That is why they fear him. But those who have withstood his gaze never doubt again. Next comes Vapula. He appears as a winged lion standing on 3 legs. His movements are slow, but each is precise. Vapula is the demon of crafts, logic, engineering, and practical knowledge. He gives precision, order, structural thinking. His students are mathematicians, blacksmiths, alchemists, mechanics. But he does not simply teach craftsmanship. He demands an understanding of the principle. Without it, nothing will work. Vapula does not give inspiration. He gives a system. His formulas are precise. His mechanisms are flawless. He turns chaos into calculation. Many great inventions were attributed to his influence, but those who communicated with him for a long time began to think differently. Their thinking became inhumanly rational. They lost their taste for chance, their fear of error, and at the same time, they lost a share of humanity. Furcus is next. His image is of an old man with a long beard, riding a strong horse, holding a sword. He is a teacher of philosophy, logic, astrology, and rhetoric. His knowledge is ancient, like darkness itself. He does not inspire or fascinate. He makes you think. His voice is like the dry crunch of parchment. He demands discipline, consistency, reflection. You cannot argue with him. Only understand or leave. Furcus is a demon of the hard school. He gives no consolation. He dissects illusions like a surgeon cuts open a body. He shows the imperfections of the world, not to destroy, but to teach you to see clearly. He will not reveal the future to you, but he will give you the tools to understand why it comes this way. He teaches you to perceive the truth as a cold but reliable support. His knowledge is a sword for those who are not afraid to cut themselves first. Grimoire rounds out the top 5. Unlike the others, his power is in beauty and the prophecy of love. He appears as a beautiful figure, riding a camel, wearing a diadem of stars. His power is over hearts. He can reveal the feelings of another, show the way to attraction, even conquer the heart of the unapproachable. But it is not love that lies behind this. Grimoire is not the god of passion. He is an expert in addiction. He reveals not what you want, but what you are afraid to want. His prophecies concern not the future of events, but the future of feelings. He can show you who you will love, but he will not say whether it is mutual. He reveals who is already thinking about you, but does not guarantee that you want it. His power is to awaken inside what you hid behind logic and order, and to force you to face it. Ars Goetia, Vapula, Furcus, Grimoire are not spirits of action. They are spirits of revelation. Their value is not in what they do, but in what they show. They do not change the world. They change perception. And therefore, they are more dangerous than many others. After all, sometimes one word, one image, one hint is enough to change your whole life. In the 6th circle of the Ars Goetia, the last vestiges of resistance disappear. Here, the spirits do not impose, do not threaten, do not instruct. They offer, softly, ingratiatingly, seductively. These demons do not tear down walls. They open doors. They do not force. They entice. And once you realize that you have already stepped over the threshold, there is no turning back. The 5 spirits of this circle are allies of passion, power, and subtle manipulation. Dantalion is the first of them. He appears as a man with many faces, changing every second. All these faces are reflections of the feelings he has read in others. Dantalion has absolute power over the mind. He sees thoughts, feelings, desires, fears. He can copy them, amplify them, or suppress them. He doesn't just know what you think. He knows why you think that way. Those who called upon him lost confidence in their motives. He could inspire love for an enemy, hatred for a friend, a craving for what was previously feared. He does not break the will, he changes its direction. Many politicians, religious leaders, and magicians turned to him to understand the crowd. And in the end, they lost themselves, because having looked inside others, they could no longer distinguish where the alien ends and their own begins. Next comes Batin. His form is that of a muscular man with a long beard, riding a powerful snake. He controls movement. He can transport a person to any point in the world, not physically, but spiritually. He is called upon by those who seek knowledge from distant cultures, ancient traditions, forgotten peoples. Batin opens invisible paths, dream paths, memory portals, time tunnels. Batin was known among Hermeticists as a guide to past incarnations. With his help, one could remember the forgotten, hear the voice of deceased teachers, return to the place where a magical covenant was concluded. But his gifts are not harmless. Sometimes there is no return. Sometimes what you see changes your essence, and you become different, even if outwardly you remain the same. The third to appear is Visago. He is often described as a modest man in a cloak, with a soft voice and open eyes. Unlike other demons, he is considered kind. He speaks the truth, points out what is hidden, helps in finding what is lost. His voice is clear, his intentions are transparent. But this is precisely what causes concern. Why is the demon so willing to help? Visago does not demand payment, does not lead to temptation directly. He simply shows the way. He finds lost things, forgotten ideas, vanished memories. His help seems selfless, but if you listen closely, you can understand. He does not give new roads. He returns to the old ones. He does not reveal the truth. He pushes to the past, forcing to live in it. And this is much more dangerous than a lie. Sitri comes forth. His image is of a man with the face of a leopard, with wings studded with eyes. He rules passion. Not carnal lust, but its very basis, the impulse that makes a person act contrary to reason. He can cause attraction, strengthen love, turn attraction into obsession. His name appeared in the diaries of courtesans, in the spells of sorcerers, in texts dedicated to power through the body. Sitri shows that feelings are power. He gives an understanding of how to control the desires of others, how to direct the energy of attraction into magical action. But the price is the loss of emotional stability. Those who worked with him often lost the ability to feel truly. Their emotions became masks, and masks became skin. Sitri teaches how to ignite hearts, but does not warn that you can burn yourself. The fifth in this circle is Ipos. His image is a man with a lion's head, goose paws, and a sharpened sword. He rules over insight and knowledge of the past and future. His strength is in understanding intentions. He sees where choices lead and what lies behind each action. He can predict not events, but reactions, not the future, but behavior. Ipos often appears before important decisions. He tells how the enemy will behave, who will betray, who will save. He does not give guarantees. He shows the probability. His advice is like playing chess, 10 moves ahead. But, relying on him, a person can forget intuition. And then any movement becomes a calculation, and life, a scheme. He opens the mind and chains the heart. Dantalion, Batin, Visago, Sitri, Ipos are not demons of terror. They are demons of intimacy. They enter the soul as allies. They do not attack, do not threaten. They persuade, and therefore they are the most dangerous. It is easy to relax with them, to trust, to let them in deeper than you should. But once they are inside, you are no longer alone. Their seals do not burn, but flicker. Their names do not thunder, but whisper. Their actions are not immediately noticeable, but manifest in decisions that seem to be their own. They do not change appearance. They change intention. And you continue walking, not suspecting that you have already turned. And only later, looking back, you understand. An alliance was made. In this circle, contracts are not concluded. Here, fusions are concluded. Fusions of desires, knowledge, memories. And even if the demon has left, part of him remains. And it does not matter who seduced whom. What matters is that the door is open, and the next 5 demons do not ask permission to enter. They are already inside. If the previous circles of Ars Goetia taught the art of seduction, strategy, knowledge of oneself and others, then the next step into the abyss opens up a completely different geography for the magician. This is not the space of the world. It is a map of intentions. The demons of the 7th circle not only lead along invisible paths, they are these paths themselves. They are not called for advice or for power. They are called to go. And one must go to a place from which one does not return the same. Geop is the first of these 5. He is called the Grand Duke of Hell, but his title is no less important than his function. He comes in the form of a man with a clear, almost hypnotic gaze and a quiet but firm speech. Geop controls not only physical movements, but also spiritual ones. He opens portals, passages between realities, layers of consciousness. He is called upon when it is necessary to enter a space where other laws operate. He teaches how to exist in a multi-layered world, how dreams influence reality, how a word can change matter, how emotion shapes events. He gives not answers, but roots. Through him, you can get to other levels of existence, but only on the condition that you are able to withstand them. Otherwise, the magician dissolves in the world of shadows. He does not die. He disappears, like a shadow stretched between worlds. Next comes Stolas. His image is a large owl with a crown on its head, making a sound similar to the breath of the moon. Stolas is the keeper of the stars, astronomy, knowledge of celestial bodies, and their impact on physical processes. But he does not just talk about the stars. He teaches to listen to them. He says that every light in the sky is not just a flame, but a voice. The voice of time, memory, the future. The magician who calls upon Stolas begins to see cycles, repetitions, patterns. He begins to understand how the world moves, not in a straight line, but in a spiral. Through Stolas, the language of harmony, rhythm, vibrations is revealed. But this knowledge is paid for with perception. He who listens to the stars for too long stops hearing people, and gradually he himself becomes a sound, not a body. Orobus appears third. His form is that of a strong rider, riding a black stallion, with a crown of silence over his head. He rules by truth, but not philosophical, not symbolic, the most direct and concrete. He speaks the truth about the past, present, and future. And he is not mistaken. His prophecies do not require interpretation. He speaks what will be. He cannot be deceived. And this is what makes him dangerous. Many have called upon him to learn the future, but the truth, spoken without embellishment, is not a gift, but a knife. Orobus can tell you when you will die, who will betray you, what you will not achieve. His voice is the ringing of iron, and if you are not ready to hear it, it is better to remain silent. He does not tolerate lies, does not participate in games. He is the emissary of absolute certainty. He does not teach you how to live. He shows you what you have already chosen. Seer is the fourth in this circle. He is represented as a man with beautiful features, a belt of silver and wings that shine like glass. His power is speed. He can instantly move objects, messages, emotions. But more importantly, he speeds up events. He can bring an outcome that was supposed to happen in a year closer, tomorrow. He can speed up not only movement, but also time. Seer works with energy. He can make a long journey seem like an instant, but acceleration always requires balance. What comes too fast goes away just as fast. His gift is not comfort, but a test. If you are not ready, he will destroy. If you are ready, he will save decades. He reveals how to control the pace of fate, but the price is instability. The top 5 is completed by Vine. His figure is a man with a dragon instead of a lower body, with eyes filled with a storm. Vine destroys, but he does not do it chaotically. He is the master of the elements. His power is over fire, water, wind. He knows how to destroy not as a rebel, but as an architect. Where there was a building, he leaves a foundation for a new one. Where there was an idea, emptiness in which a seed can be planted. He is not evil. He is necessary. Destruction is his form of purification. Sorcerers turn to him when they need to release attachments, destroy the old, remove barriers. But he does not ask if you are ready. He comes like a storm and sweeps everything away. And then, if you survive, he leaves silence. In this silence, true creation begins. Gab, Stolas, Orobas, Seer, Vine are not just spirits of movement. They are spirits of directions. They do not tell you where to go. They are the road themselves. They accelerate, break, open, show. And after them, it is impossible to stand still. Even if you are afraid, you are already carried away. Even if you do not want, the path continues. This circle opens up a different perception of time and space. With it, the magician ceases to be a person living in one point of the world. He becomes a being between worlds, between choices, between essence and consequence. And although it seems that you are still in the body, you are already a shadow on the road, drawn by their names. Having traveled through star routes and accelerated time flows, the magician enters a zone where space becomes unstable and forms are malleable. Here, spirits reign, distorting the very essence of reality. Their power lies not in knowledge or speed, but in the ability to change appearance, both external and internal. The demons of the 8th circle of Goetia are masters of illusion, transformation, and cunning shells. Their goal is not destruction, but distortion. The first to meet is Balaam. His image defies logic. 3 heads, a bull, a man, and a ram, snake tails, eyes without pupils. Balaam does not speak with his lips. He speaks with his thoughts, transmits knowledge directly, bypassing language. He gives invisibility, not only physical, but also social. Those who called on him became invisible in the structures of power, the law, the perception of others. He grants the ability to be and not to be at the same time. Balaam can make a person pass through a crowd without being recognized, make his speech sound like noise and his actions like coincidence. He is the spirit of those who are hidden, but he also gives wisdom. More precisely, he points out the meaninglessness of categoricality. His students begin to understand that truth is always multifaceted, that there is no truth, There are only interpretations, and each is true in its own way. The second to appear is Zagan. His figure is a man with the wings of a griffin, but with a face reminiscent of an actor's mask. Zagan is an alchemist of forms. He can transform liquids, change substances, turn truth into lies, and lies into dogma. He does not destroy, but changes. His power is in transformation. In the real world, he can influence matter, but his influence on perception is far more dangerous. Zagan often appears where ideas become viruses. His images are false teachings, strange theories, charismatic madmen. He does not argue, he convinces, he does not explain, he inspires, and his magic is, that once heard, it is impossible to forget. The one who let him into the mind soon begins to change everything, from words to appearance, and ceases to understand how it all began. The third is Belial, one of the most ancient demons of Goetia. He comes as a man of noble appearance, with a cold calm in his voice. Belial does not demand sacrifices, he demands trust. His power is in recognition. He can grant high status, position, authority. But all this is an illusion, an illusory power, behind which there is emptiness. He makes kings, but without a throne. Belial is connected with the idea of freedom. He says that nothing should restrain the will, neither duty nor morality nor law. He teaches how to free oneself from structure, and in doing so, he deprives one of support. Those who followed his path became either great reformers or destroyers. He does not interfere directly. He simply removes boundaries, and man goes to where the abyss begins, not from the outside, but from within. The fourth is Paimon, one of the most revered and the most insidious. His image is of a majestic man on a camel, surrounded by the ringing of copper and the wind of the sands. He brings knowledge of art, science, magic, secret names, and spiritual unions. He does not hide his power. He demands respect. He is called the King of the East, but there is a shadow hidden behind this title. Paimon has power over legions of spirits. He can instill obedience, build hierarchies, control the masses. His knowledge is vast, but he reveals it partially, forcing them to build complex systems for the sake of a drop of truth. He is the spirit of those who rule, and he is their fall. He does not forgive weakness, does not tolerate doubt. If you called Paimon, you are already his servant, even if you think otherwise. Baeleth closes the top 5. He is called by different names, Baeleth, Bailet, Belef. But his essence is the same, unbridled passion, turning into obsession. He comes to the sound of trumpets, with a demonic procession behind him, and demands a loud call. You cannot call him in silence, only in a scream. He can give love, but love not as a feeling, as an obsession. He does not open hearts, he breaks them. Baeleth controls attraction, which turns into addiction. He gives the object of desire, but makes it unattainable. He creates an eternal thirst, an eternal search. His essence is not in possession, but in aspiration. Many magicians, having entered into an alliance with him, became obsessed with the goal, be it a person, an idea, or power. He makes the goal sacred, and for the sake of the sacred, a person is capable of everything. The 5 spirits of the 8th circle, Balaam, Zagan, Belial, Paimon, Baeleth, teach how to distort reality, replace desires, create new rules. They do not destroy directly. They allow themselves to be destroyed from within, through illusions, through passion, through power. And they do it so skillfully that a person thanks them for the destruction, mistaking it for transformation. This circle is a mirror, and each demon in it is its facet. Looking into this mirror, the magician can no longer tell where his image begins and where the imposed mask begins. And the worst thing is that at some point, it no longer matters, because you already speak with their voice, and you look at the world through their eyes. When the masks are dropped, the illusions are destroyed, and the very concept of I becomes shaky. The magician meets those who do not need tricks. The demons of the ninth circle do not seduce or whisper. They appear as a judgment. They do not need trust. Your intention is enough for them. These are the spirits of power, destruction, and passion that burns even without fire. Their presence is impossible not to notice, and their departure is impossible without a trace. Person comes first. His appearance is always sudden. He appears as a man with the face of a warrior, but instead of a horse, he rides a huge bear. He is accompanied by a snake wrapped around a staff. Person is the spirit of revelations and treasures. He reveals secrets hidden in the depths of the world, in dungeons, in consciousness. He can point to hidden knowledge, secret codes, forgotten paths. But the main thing he does is reveal intentions. He sees the motives of others as clearly as you see the light of a candle in the dark. Magicians who invoked Person often used him to expose conspiracies, reveal true feelings, and foresee changes. However, Person's power is not in knowledge, but in its application. He gives the opportunity to act with precision when others are still guessing. But he demands decisiveness. He says nothing to those who doubt. He is followed by Asmodeus, one of the most ancient and powerful demons, known long before the appearance of grimoires. His image is a man with a three-headed form, a bull, a man, and a ram. His legs are the paws of a dragon. His breath is flame. Asmodeus is the lord of passion and anger, the spirit that controls attraction, violence, destruction, for the sake of desire. He does not seduce, he demands. The one who summons Asmodeus gains access to the dark energy of passion, relentless, all-consuming, destructive. He does not offer pleasure, he gives hunger, the need to possess, to control, to dominate. This can be a passion for the body, for an idea, for power. He shows that love and rage can feed on the same force, and he does not distinguish between pleasure and pain. He gives absolute desire, without breaks and boundaries. The third is Eligos. His image is majestic. He rides a war horse, holds a spear in his hands, and his head is covered with a golden helmet. Eligos is the spirit of war and strategy. He does not destroy impulsively, like Asmodeus. He destroys prudently. His strength is in the ability to predict the outcome of a battle, to read the battle map before it begins. He is called upon by military leaders, political intriguers, those who fight not with a sword, but with their thoughts. Eligos does not speak loudly. His advice is short and precise. He points out the enemy's weak points, predicts who will betray, who will endure. But his warnings are often unbearable, because, having heard them, one must choose to do the right thing or to win. He does not demand morality. He demands victory, and victory is always more expensive than it seems. The fourth is Zepar. His appearance is that of a man in a red robe, with a veil covering his face. His gait is soft, his voice is low, but behind this is immense power over love and decay. Zepar is able to make a woman or a man fall passionately in love with the summoner. He connects bodies, but he does not connect souls. His power is a short-term attraction that can destroy even the most stable unions. Those who called on him for love received lust. Those who sought intimacy received addiction. He destroys relationships by pretending to be the one who creates them. He makes feelings unbearably strong, but false. He gives hugs that suffocate, kisses that cannot be washed off. And when he leaves a void that cannot be filled with anything. The last in this circle is Botis. His form is that of a man with a fanged mouth and a snake in his hands. He can appear as a terrible creature or as a noble sage, depending on the intent of the summoner. Botis reveals the past and the future. But, unlike other demons of prophecy, he does so without embellishment and without variations. His visions are a sentence. He does not show probabilities. He shows results. The magician who calls upon Botis must be prepared to accept the answer, even if it is terrible. Botis can indicate who will die first, what step will lead to destruction, what price must be paid for success. He does not intimidate. He simply speaks. But his voice is heavy as stone. His truth is unchangeable. He gives no choice. He points out what has already been decided. Person, Asmodeus, Eligos, Zepar, Botis. These are the demons who stand at the threshold of the deepest depths. Their power is not in words, not in teaching, not in distortion. They act. They lead to action, to deed, to consequences. They are not bargained with. They are agreed with, or die. Their circle is a world of action, passion, blood, pain. Here they do not think. Here they decide. And for every decision they pay. They do not hide their essence. They are honest in their darkness. And that is why they are feared more than anyone. Because they come when there is no retreat. When the magician has set out on a path from which there is no turning back. When passion is exhausted, when prophecies are fulfilled, when war is over and leaves emptiness behind, another kingdom begins. In this circle, demons do not lead or kill. They change the structure of existence itself. This is not an illusion or a game of consciousness. This is a direct impact on matter, appearance, will. These spirits control form, physical and metaphysical. They do not ask what you want to be. They make you what is necessary. Decarbia appears first. His form is a 20-pointed star, rotating in space without beginning or end. He has no face. His voice is a whisper from within. Decarbia rules the spirits of the air, birds, winged creatures, and the hidden symbols of the sky. He teaches how to understand the language of birds, to detect hidden signs in flights and sounds, to read the weather as a magician reads a spell. But its main quality is the disintegration of form. It can break down any structure into the symbols of which it is composed. Words, bodies, events, everything becomes a pattern that can be rewoven. It does not destroy, it disassembles, and it gives the opportunity to assemble differently. The magician who has called it soon begins to see the world as a map of lines and shapes, where each bird is a message, each flap of a wing is a sign. Alok follows him. His appearance is that of a man with a lion's mane, surrounded by burning dogs. He does not hide his essence. Alok is the lord of destructive light. He controls stars, meteors, comets, and all astral energy that burns away form to create a new one. He is called upon to break boundaries, to change structure, to destroy the old, leaving no trace. But along with destruction, he brings the knowledge of construction. He teaches how to create a mechanism from debris. He is called the architect of chaos, not because he creates disorder, but because he knows how to extract benefit from it. With him, the magician stops fearing the end. He begins to understand that the end is just a new beginning, written in a different code. The third to come is Grimoire. His figure is a knight in black armor, riding a huge black horse. He is a warrior transformer. But his transformation is not physical. He changes the essence of movement. Grimoire is able to teach how to move between worlds, to pass from one state of consciousness to another, to lead armies of spirits along astral paths. He is the Lord of transitions. He does not break. He translates. He is called the Spirit of Fusion. He can unite the magic of different schools, connect elements, build bridges between dissimilar structures. He is necessary for those who walk alone, but must act like many. His gift is the ability to become a bridge. But a bridge is always a risk. It connects, but it is also subject to destruction. And Grimoire warns, to be a guide means to be the first to take the blow. The fourth to appear is Asmodeus. His appearance is a dark silhouette with a trumpet in his hands, from which music bursts forth without sound. He is the spirit of hidden influence. His main power is the control of vibrations. He can change space so that a person becomes invisible, not disappearing, but becoming part of the environment. He controls sound, rhythm, shadow. His power is to make a person invisible and inaudible. The magicians who turned to him gained the ability to disappear into people. They were not noticed, not listened to, not remembered. They became a shadow in the crowd. But this invisibility had its price. Over time, the sense of belonging disappeared. The I was erased. Only a functional trace remained. Asmodeus does not hide. He dissolves. And this is his strength. The fifth of these five is Vu. He comes as a king with a crown of lightning, in clothes woven from time. Vu is the demon of will. He does not give a wish. He carries out the order, instantly. He is known as the spirit that does not allow delay. He moves things, people, ideas, laws, without delay. But in return, he demands absolute clarity. He is not interested in doubts. You can't play with Vu. If the call was unclear, the execution will be literal, merciless. It requires precision of intent. It is used when the decision has been made and the path has been determined. Its power is in the removal of resistance. It does not break down barriers. It simply passes through. And it does it so quickly that no one has time to object. But after it, the world is already different. Decarbia, Alok, Grimoire, Asmodeus, Vu are the demons of form, structure, and action without pause. They do not destroy like their predecessors, nor do they tempt like the spirits of desire. They change, they rewrite, they create anew. With them, the magician becomes the artisan of his own reality, but only if he is willing to forget what he was before. After the transformation of body and consciousness, another stage begins, the loss of directions. In the 11th circle of the Ars Goetia, landmarks disappear. Here, demons do not give form or destroy it. They destroy the very foundations of distinction. Good and evil, light and darkness, truth and lies. Everything loses its meaning. Here live spirits that feed not on actions, but on delusions. They do not impose their paths. They make any choice meaningless. The first to arrive is Barbas. His image is that of a huge dog, with many eyes on his back. He does not speak out loud. He penetrates the mind and makes you doubt every thought. Barbas reveals occult knowledge, but never speaks directly. He gives hints, dreams, signs that can be interpreted in two ways. And there is always a risk of misinterpretation. Those who sought an answer from him received only duality. He teaches one to see deeper, but only after a person has lost trust in their feelings. He can show the way, but every turn leads to the wrong one. Barbas does not lie. He creates conditions in which lies become logical and truth insane. His influence is especially strong in closed spaces where a person is alone with himself. After him comes Larier. His appearance is that of a young man with a bow, but his arrows have his blood instead of tips. Larier is a demon of dispute. He does not create conflicts directly. He generates tension, omissions, aggression without reason. His energy is woven into conversations, touches, glances, turning everything into a battlefield. He does not want war. He wants discord. Those who called him noticed that even in the most peaceful situations, quarrels began. Any relationship, friendly, family, business, was destroyed by accumulated irritation, as if the air itself had become poison. Larier teaches that harmony is an illusion, and that conflict is already embedded in every person. He simply brings this conflict out into the open and allows it to breathe. The third to appear is Nason. His name is rarely spoken, and even among occultists, little is known about him. His figure is a naked man, covered in sand, with empty eye sockets. He comes from the depths of the desert, bringing with him dryness, silence, and sterility. Nason is the spirit of devastation. He does not destroy, he dries up. His power is in drawing out energy. He enters houses and leaves behind empty vessels, dried grass, broken threads of inspiration. Those who lived under his influence lost the will to create, think, feel. He does not cause pain. He makes it unnecessary. Everything becomes gray, even dusty. Those who are connected with art and spiritual practices are afraid of him. After all, he takes away the most important thing, the meaning. Shax follows him. His form is a black-winged creature with outstretched arms and blind eyes. Shax steals. He can deprive a person of sight, hearing, memory. But he does this not as a punishment, but as a test. He does not destroy organs. He erases access to perception. He gives silence in which it is impossible to distinguish where is inside and where is outside. Shax can make a person forget his name, his past, his purpose. He can take away the magician's ability to speak, to see enemies, to hear the calls of spirits. But there is a method to this. Only by losing everything can a person hear what has always been in him. However, not everyone can withstand it. Shax does not teach. He turns off the light so that you learn to see in the dark. The last one in this circle is Fokar. His appearance is that of a man in a blue robe, with a face resembling a lollipop covered in frost. He is the spirit of cold. He brings not physical cold, but emotional. His presence is indifference. He cools feelings, blocks empathy. Under his influence, love becomes irritation, friendship, fatigue, faith, indifference. Fokar does not cause despair. He causes numbness. Around him, reaction disappears. Everything seems distant, unimportant. He does not punish. He distances. His power is in breaking the connection between a person and his inner experiences. He does everything possible so that even tragedy is perceived as rain outside the window. Noticeable, but not affecting. Barbas, Larier, Nayasan, Shax, Fokar. Spirits that do not command, do not manipulate, do not seduce. They distort perception, dissipate heat, destroy the direction of thought. Their power is a shadow growing from within. They do not come suddenly. They seep in. They are already there when you still believe you are in control. Those who have survived the cold of alienation and the blinding of the inner gaze, enter the 12th circle of the Ars Goetia. Here, the distinction between truth and dream disappears. These demons do not bring chaos or destruction. They give form to desires, make illusion tangible. But this illusion is not benevolent. It clings, breathes, demands. The spirits of this circle feed on passion, not necessarily physical, but always all-consuming. Murmur comes first. His form is that of an old man with a raven's skull, in a robe covered in writing. He rides a vulture, and his voice sounds like an echo underground. Murmur is the link between the living and the dead. He can speak to spirits, control ghosts, open passages between worlds. But he is not a medium. He is a go-between. He does not convey words. He connects essences. His power is not simply to summon the dead, but to hear their voices within you. He does not tell you who to call. He makes you remember those you have forgotten. Those who called him often lost the boundary between themselves and the dead. Their speech became alien, their actions a repetition of someone else's fate. Murmur reveals secrets, but makes you their keeper. Forever. Ornias appears next. His form is a tall figure woven from numbers, symbols, and formulas. He has no face. Ornias is the spirit of knowledge, but his knowledge is not about the world, but about the structure of illusion. He can explain why a dream becomes reality, and why a lie is stronger than a fact. He teaches the magic of illusory matter, the creation of images, suggestions, pseudo-events. He doesn't just give deception, he makes it conviction. Anyone who works with Ornias can convince a crowd of something that never happened. His formulas are the keys to changing the collective consciousness. He creates a structure of lies that seem true. He doesn't destroy faith, he counterfeits it. And that makes him especially dangerous in a world where words rule the masses. The third in this circle is Andromalius. His appearance is that of a man with eyes like a mirror, reflecting not the face of the interlocutor, but his sins. He is the spirit of return. He steals, but not things, but plans, intentions, thoughts. His power is exposure. He reveals who has conceived evil, who hides betrayal, who holds a dagger behind his back. But he does not give justice. He gives information. Andromalius does not punish. He shows. He is called upon by those who want to know the truth. But the truth always comes without protection. He shows not only enemies, but also who you are becoming. He brings hidden thoughts to light. And if a person is not ready to accept them, he breaks. Because once you know, it is impossible to forget. The fourth is the phoenix. Often confused with the spirit of the earlier circle, this phoenix is of a different kind. His body is a flaming bird with the voice of a human singer. He sings, and the sound of his voice penetrates to the very essence. He inspires, but does not exalt. He ignites, but does not direct. His power is to awaken passion, where only the shadow of desire remains. The phoenix opens up the ability to create, to speak, to sing, to perform rituals. It inspires great deeds, but each inspiration is accompanied by a sense of dying. Its voice is like fire. It warms until it burns. Anyone who listens to it for a long time begins to speak a language that does not exist, and each sound becomes a spell, even if the magician himself does not realize it. The fifth is Rai. His figure is a man with raven wings and a crown woven from the wind. He is the master of images of the future. His prophecies are not precise, but visual. He shows scenes, bright, full of movement, symbols, shadows. He does not say what will happen. He shows how it will feel. His visions are dreams that cannot be gotten rid of after awakening. Intuition rules paradise. It can give a sign, but it will not tell you how to interpret it. Its scenes are not a guide, but a mirror. Everyone sees their own in them. Its power is in awakening deep feelings. Sometimes its images lead to salvation, sometimes to paranoia. Because not everyone is ready to live with a vision that cannot be unseen. Murmur, Orneas, Andromalius, Phoenix, Rayum, do not command, do not seduce, do not punish. They show, reflect, connect. Their power is in the passion for knowledge, for the voice, for memory. They make the invisible tangible. They create a distortion that seems real. And they do it with such subtlety that even the magician does not always realize when it began. The 12th circle does not break boundaries. It dissolves them. It shows that you have always been what you are now afraid to see. It does not give new forms. It makes you accept the old as new. And when you accept, you become part of this music, these signs, these dreams. Because from now on, your magic sounds like the voice of spirits. The one who has reached the 13th circle has already ceased to be a man in the usual sense. His consciousness is rebuilt. His form is transformed. His feelings are shaken to the ground. But there is no peace ahead. This circle is inhabited by demons, whose essence is the dismantling of the universe. They do not control passions, do not forge images. They create the architecture of destruction. Their power is in the methodical, cold dismantling of reality. And they do it with the precision of engineers. Androusias is the first to appear. His figure resembles a puma with a carapace covered in spikes, and his voice is the roar of a stormy sea. He is the embodiment of nature's fury, but not wild, but controlled. He can bring down cities, raise storms, cause rebellion in the most stable systems. He is not interested in chaos as disorder. He values it as a tool for restarting. Androusias does not sow baseless anger. He destroys what is outdated. He was called upon by those who wanted to change the political order, destroy the structure, replace power. He came like a wave. He carried away everything that stood in his way, but always left the foundation so that he could start again. His strength is not in blind rage, but in a conscious storm. The second in this circle is Amoni. His appearance is that of a man with a shadow that walks separately from his body. He does not speak. His voice sounds inside. Amoni is the spirit of solitude, detachment, distance from the world. He is not interested in destruction from the outside. He destroys the connection with others, with himself, with reality. His goal is to break all contacts. He does not drive a person into madness. He makes him unattainable. The magicians who turned to him wanted silence, peace, liberation from emotions and attachments. But they received not liberation, but emptiness. He creates a loneliness in which you cannot hide, in which every sound is an echo of your own guilt. He shows that without peace, you are not whole. And without integrity, even the will does not exist. He does not kill. He switches off. Salek comes third. His form is a giant hooded figure, his face a smooth black slab. He is a catcher of souls. His presence is not felt until he touches. Then it is not the body that disappears, but the sense of one's own being. Salek does not steal memory. He erases the relationship to it. His goal is to turn the soul into a silent witness. He is able to pull out of a person that part that calls itself I, to leave only an observer, unable to change, interfere, influence. Salek teaches humility through powerlessness. His strength is absolute control over inner silence. People fear him, not for what he does, but for what the one who survives an encounter with him becomes. An empty mirror, reflecting other people's images. The fourth is Irumel. His appearance is that of a creature woven from the debris of buildings, sparks, and wires. He is a demon of cities, civilizations, the memory of structure. He does not destroy them as matter. He implants a failure code in them. His power is architectural intervention. He can change the plan of a building, the structure of a street, the course of water flows. But most importantly, he can change the course of history. Irumel interferes with the sequence of events. It introduces a distortion. It makes it so that yesterday does not affect today. Its essence is a violation of causality. Those who called upon it lost the sense of the logic of the world. Their actions no longer had consequences, or the consequences came before the actions. Irumel is a broken mechanism of time that continues to spin, but no longer according to the rules. The fifth and last one is Abares. His figure is a figure in a cloak that flutters even in the windless. His face is hidden, and his voice always has a foreign accent. Abares is a demon of borders. He controls lines between countries, bodies, concepts. He is able to change the course of borders, erase them, or move them. He is not interested in territories. He is concerned with transitions. It acts at the moment of choice. When a person stands between two paths, Abares makes the border transparent, or vice versa, insurmountable. It was called upon by magicians who sought to cross the impossible, to enter other worlds, to unite polar forces, to unite magical traditions. But each transition with it was accompanied by loss. Because to cross the border means to leave a part of yourself on the other side. Andrusias, Amoni, Salek, Irumel, Abares are destroyers, but not in the traditional sense. They dismantle, disconnect, rethink. Their power is in conscious deconstruction. They do not erase the world, they show how it can be rewritten. But whether they allow a new one to be built is unclear. Because after them, no one is sure that new is possible. When the walls of worlds collapse, when the logic of actions disappears, when causality becomes shaky, those who create not from matter, but from suggestion, enter the arena. The 14th circle of Ars Goetia is inhabited by demons who build reality from words, symbols, intonations. They are not creators, not destroyers, and not intermediaries. They are architects of meanings that seem to be the truth. And in these meanings, man is lost forever. Naberius enters first. His form is that of a man with a raven's head, with speech that flows without ceasing. His voice is like a stream of icy water, leaving no room to catch one's breath. Naberius is the master of rhetoric, dialogue, the sublime word. He can turn a fool into an orator, but his power is not in the content, but in the form. He creates influence, not with thought, but with sound. His voice is a weapon. It gives the power to convince, manipulate, and enchant. But this power is a trap. The magician who turns to it soon loses the need for truth. He begins to say not what he feels, but what influences. Every syllable becomes a calculation, every word, poison. It makes language a living being that feeds on attention, and therefore demands more and more. And one day the speaker himself becomes just a shell for speech. Next comes the veil. His form is that of a tall man, with his face covered in silk. The veil is a demon of ancient languages, forgotten dialects, voices that have gone into the abyss. He doesn't just know languages, he creates them. He can make a person speak in a way that no one understands, but everyone feels. His speech does not convey meaning. It inspires a state. With it, you can influence the masses, bypassing the mind. His words act on the level of the body, memory, dreams. He gives the magician the ability to speak directly to the subconscious. But for this power, the veil demands silence in everything else. He takes away everyday speech, turning every phrase into a spell. And then any word is a risk. Because even a random phrase can change the fate of another, or your own. The third to come is Amones. His appearance is that of a man in mirrored armor, in which it is impossible to discern his reflection. Amones controls oblivion. He does not destroy information. He deprives access to it. His power is in breaking the links between memory and consciousness. He is able to erase an event so that not even a hint remains. Not in the head, not in the body, not in the world. Mages seeking oblivion found emptiness in him. But this emptiness was not a relief. It became a gaping hole that something began to fill. Something foreign, strange, unfamiliar. Amones creates space for invasion. He removes a part of you, and something else takes it. He gives you the opportunity to start over. But he does not say whose handwriting will fill it. The fourth is Larife. His figure is thin, almost ghostly, with eyes full of swamp-light. He is the spirit of places where everything gets stuck. Larife is connected with spaces in which desires, forces, intentions drown. He is able to slow down action, to make any effort ineffective. He brings with him a sleepy numbness, a viscous indifference of the environment. It is not only enemies who call upon him, but also those who are tired. He can stop the flow of life, turn off the pressure of time, slow down the chain of events. But with him, everything becomes sticky, viscous. Even thought begins to move slowly. He gives a respite, but with it comes self-forgetfulness. Larife is not a stop. He turns the will into an illusion that it is still possible to begin. The fifth is Frumos. He is called the most insidious of the entire galaxy. His appearance is that of a perfect person, male or female, depending on who is looking. He is a demon of beauty, but not the kind that beautifies, but the kind that destroys. Frumos does not offer the external. He transforms perception. He makes the world beautiful, so beautiful that it is impossible to live in it. It can give a person magnetism, seductive attraction, irresistibility. But this attraction is dangerous. It causes envy, obsession, paranoia. People are drawn, fall in love, go crazy, and the bearer of this power becomes a victim. He no longer belongs to himself. His gaze is a trap. His smile is a blade. He becomes the embodiment of desire and loses his personality. Naberius, Vual, Amones, Larife, Frumos are not demons of form, fire, or shadows. They are demons of influence. Their power is in words, gestures, glances. They act unnoticed. Without changing anything, they change everything. With them, thunder is not heard, but after them, nothing remains in place. They do not demand worship. They demand your perception. And this is the last currency that can be used to pay. The 14th circle is a field of deception created by you. Here the spirits do not lie. They give you the opportunity to deceive yourself, and you use it, not because you are weak, but because there is no other choice, because the truth has become too dangerous, and lies are too convenient. In the last circle of the Ars Goetia, where names end and images disappear. Only those who stood at the very base remain. The demons of this circle do not seduce, do not frighten, do not hide. They are the guardians of the residual. Their presence is not a form, not an essence, not a structure. It is a residue. It is a shadow of the former light. They do not participate in destruction. They wait for you to cease to be, because that is when they appear. The first of the last to emerge is Raum. His form is that of a bird with a human face, his feathers black, but shimmering like blued iron. He rides a black stallion that makes an inhuman neigh. Raum is a demon of thievery, but he does not steal gold or bodies or lives. He steals what you thought was inalienable: authority, hope, history, everything on which you built your sense of yourself. He can take away a ruler's power, a prophet's vision, a mage's purpose. He does not destroy, he takes away. Raum comes without warning. He takes and goes. His gift is freedom, torn out by the roots. Many have called upon him to overthrow the strong, but few have understood that after Raum, power becomes a curse. He gives you a throne from which you cannot rise, or destroys a throne on which you have not yet sat. Andal comes next. His appearance is that of a man in a robe, whose face is always hidden under many masks. Andal does not speak. He acts through space. He changes the direction of thought. He is able to distort the path, to make one step where no one intended. His power is deviation from the vector. He does not break fate. He simply shifts the axis. With him, the magician begins to go in the wrong direction, although everything looks familiar. Every decision leads to the unexpected, every word to a new meaning. Andal does not allow you to return. He creates a reality in which even an attempt to return becomes a new path. He makes repetition impossible, and therefore, and correction. With him, you are doomed to progressive delusion. The third is the Fury. She has no gender. She comes as a woman on fire, as a man in a mask, as a scream inside a dream. The Fury is anger that has become an entity, but not a flash of rage, but a deep, ancient retribution. She does not seek justice. She demands retribution, even if no one is guilty. She carries with her the fragments of destinies and memories that have become weapons. Fury is rarely called upon, only by those who have lost everything, or by those who want others to lose it. She does not listen to requests. She senses a thirst for revenge, and if there is one, she comes. She does not ask who is right. She simply makes the pain equal. Her justice is a mirror. You get back what you gave, but tenfold. And after her, no one remains the same, not even the observers. The fourth is Ixao. His form is a man surrounded by emptiness. He stands in the center of a circle where sounds fade. Ixao is the demon of silence. He does not simply remove the voice. He takes away the right to speak. He turns off the tongue, but not the muscles. He makes it impossible to express. With him, the magician loses the ability to spell, pray, ask. He leaves only the inner scream. Ixao comes when everything has been said, when words no longer work. He makes it obvious that speech was an illusion of control. He does not punish. He liberates. He shows that you never spoke to the spirits. You spoke to yourself, and that the spirits did not answer you. They were your echo. With him, everything finally becomes honest, and therefore unbearable. The fifth of these final five is Eluxa. She is a woman, but her eyes are those of a predator. Her voice is sweet as poisonous honey. Iluxa is a demon of form. She has the ability to completely change another person's perception of you. She does not fake a body. She changes how you feel. She makes you into what others want you to be. And you begin to change under that pressure. Iluxa is a mirror that smiles. It gives absolute mimicry. It makes the magician everything and no one. He becomes a projector of other people's expectations. And in the end, he forgets who he was. It does not drive one into madness. It brings one into harmony with those around you. But this harmony is a complete erasure of the center. It is not an enemy. It is an environment. And once you get into it, you dissolve like salt in the ocean. Raum, Andal, Furia, Ixao, Iluxa are the final figures of this closed circle. They bring neither glory, nor power, nor knowledge. They bring extinction, not as death, but as a conclusion. They are the ones who close the gate mechanism. After them, there is nothing left to learn. No one to learn. No one to ask. They are not demons of horror. They are spirits of completion. The 15th circle is a point in a spell whose meaning has long been lost. It is the end where there is no longer an observer. The magician who has passed through all the names is erased. But this disappearance is not a defeat. It is a transition. Because it is here that what cannot be written begins. What the ancients knew, but did not pass on. And not because they did not want to, but because it is impossible.